we have, from the last I checked record, we have about 61 different types of taxations that Nigerian businesses are paying. Ranges from local government, state government, and of course, federal level. So when people talk about ease of doing business, Nigeria is ranking lower. Why? Because it's become extremely difficult for anybody to survive with the high level of taxation that are available. So the government look at it critically this time around and say, oh, no, we need to address these issues. And the system we use, or the system the government has been using in the past, is something we inherited from white people. Where normally when you look at the tax system is, let's tax the bottom billions or the bottom millions and let go of those at the top level. So those that are struggling to survive doing small businesses are the ones that have been disturbed all the time. Give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that, from different ranges of tax collectors or tax officers. And I'll give you an example. If you have, suppose you have somebody give you 5 million naira to start a business in a city, either Kano, Kaduna, Abuja, any city. So the first thing to do is, where can I get a better location to rent a shop? After renting the shop, possibly 1 million or 1.5 million, you now want to pimp your shop, depending on the type of business you are going into. So now fixing the shop, renovation, and putting all things to make it look nicer and attractive to customers. The moment when you are done, hopefully you are now left with 3.2 million. You now went ahead and buy stock and now put in your shop. The first week you finish doing all this, what will happen to you is you start getting knocked from tax official that we are here to see, okay, you haven't paid for business registrations, you did not pay for this signboard you fixed in outside, and you need to pay, can we see this and that, can we see that? So you that just set up a shop within a week, people are asking you to give them money. You are yet to sell to even your first customer. Nobody showed interest in the business you are doing. You don't even understand how to go about it. Is it going to be successful? Am I going to die as a business owner? Are we going to make it this month? When are we going to start making sales, top loss of profit? And how do you even pay off the people that are going to assist you? Maybe your assistant. All this thing is none of their business in the current system. Just pay, or we're going to penalize you, or lock up the shop. Okay, I'm here to start doing it. Abia, can you give me time? Let me start making something. No, pay something or you're going to be penalized. This is the current system everybody is facing. As far as you're in business, you are facing one or two of these challenges. Now government has come up with something to say, no, we are not okay with this system. This needs to be changed. You see, in this forum, I think we have been communicating, we have been talking about, as a business owner, you need to be what? Formalized, structured, and ensure you have proper record keeping. Why we're thinking of things like this are coming up? Because one day you'll be asked to come and say, okay, we want to see the reality of what is going on in your business. So today, government has come up with what they call tax reform. And they did about 4 different types of reformations. The federal inland revenue is going to be reformed, or has changed effective from January to Nigeria Revenue Service. And there's Nigerian Tax Act, about 4 of them. But the one that matters to you is, what is it for me as a business owner? So I believe you have so many questions that you need to ask. But one thing that I want you to know is, most of the thing is business owners at your level are considered, and you have less or not much to worry about. If you are doing the proper thing, if you really understand your level and you know exactly what you are doing, the government has covered you. So I'll give you time to ask some questions where I need to chip in with critical information. I will expand because we have at least an hour to talk about it and move. So the floor is open. If anybody want to talk, you can send chat. You can also indicate so that we can allow you to talk. Thank you very much for being here. Are we together? Okay, somebody, Habibu, asks an overview of the new tax policy. Now, you hear so many informations. People are talking about so many things about it. The tax, according to the committee that was assigned to do the information, one of the things they mentioned is what they come to realize in Nigeria, not more than 3% are paying the actual taxation that, but the actual tax they are supposed to be paying. Most Nigerians are not paying tax. So they have designed a system this time around to make it much easier, not to make life difficult for you, but to make things easier and more better. So I made mention that there are about 61 different types of taxation across. These people have consolidated so many of them and make them to be much, much easier to pay. So I don't want to digress more because let me put it this way. In Nigerian context, there are buckets of individuals who pay taxations. When I say, or let me use the word entity, there are a bucket of entities who pay taxations. Number one, individuals. That's me and you as persons. Number two, businesses are also considered to be entities. Now, businesses are also categorized into different folders. There are businesses that are called nano businesses. There are businesses that are called micro businesses. Those that are called small businesses. There are medium businesses, and there are large businesses. So each one of this category have different cadre of tax that they are expected to pay. So according to the reform, let's talk about individuals, which predominantly what is expected to pay has to do with PIT and pay. So PIT is what the government call it personal income tax. Now they say among individuals we have in Nigeria, everybody, or not everybody, people are expected to pay due based on their earnings. Now, they put them into bracket. Bracket number one, anybody who is not earning up to 800,000 from January to closing year is expected to pay nothing. It's not taxable. It's just an ordinary Nigerian. The government say, go free. We don't have to tax you. That's category one. Category two are individuals who earn more than that. So if you earn more than 800,000 in the year cycle, that's 12 months, then government expect you to pay some certain taxation. And they also put that into bracket. It's not like it's a flat rate that everybody is going to pay. No. So for those people at the middle class who fall under this category, are people maybe working class individuals. When you look at the former system they used to do in calculating payee, this is more a little bit flexible, and this one's in this new regime they have, you pay less than what you used to pay when you do the calculation and get the numbers right. Okay, so let me share something with you so that I can a little bit get it easier. Okay, so if you can see my slide, Can you see? Oh, how do I know these people are with me? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so as you can see, these are the brackets that is coming next January or next year, effective January. So the government say if you are earning between 1 naira to 800,000, congratulations, we don't expect you to pay anything. So you are paying zero. If you are earning more than that, meaning assuming you are earning 2 million. That's your earning. So the government say, number one, government has already give you relief of this 800,000 if your earning is 2 million. So what you do is you are going to minus this 800,000 from your 2 million, which now you have the balance of 1.2 million. This is an amount you have. Now, next step, number two, they say as an individual, if you are paying housing allowance, remove it from the remaining 1.2 million. If you are paying pension, you are contributing pension funds, remove it from this 1.2 million. If you are also paying health insurance, remove it from remaining 1.2 million. So let's make assumption that your housing contribution, housing scheme contribution, pension, and HMO is about, let's assume is about 200,000. So when you remove it from this, the balance you have is 1 million. So what government say is the 1 million now that you have fall under the second category, 2.2 million. So they are going to calculate, or you do it yourself, 15% of 1 million. This is the amount you are expected to go and pay. So let's assume, because this is assuming the 1 million that remains is consolidated money, meaning the one you are receiving from your salary and the one you are getting from your side hustle. So they say, okay, now since the company you work for or the government agency you work for has already paid your payee on your behalf. Now, the remaining balance after I calculate the 15%, what is expected of you is remove that payment that they did for you on payee. Assuming they paid 20K, no, sorry, 10,000. And when you do this calculation, what is due for government is 15,000 naira. So since your employer has paid 10,000 naira on your behalf, the remaining balance is 5,000 naira. So government say, go to our office, pay 5,000 naira on your TIN or tax identification number. The moment when you do that, bam, you are good to go as an individual. Keep your record tight and you're fine. So this is just an example from an individual perspective. Now, so let's move to business. They say, okay, so for those at category one, which is nano businesses, example of nano businesses are people that have small business, maybe they are running it alone, or they have only a single assistant. Maybe like somebody who is selling groundnut, somebody who have a very small business, selling maybe a small restaurant selling food, somebody who has just a hawker who all the inventory of what he's selling, all the calculations, the money plus the remaining stock, all the sales, everything is in his brain or is in her brain. This is what it's called a nano business owner. So if you are operating at this level, government say you are not supposed to pay, you are exempted from paying taxation. So category two is those who are at micro level. Micro level almost the same level, because if you're at micro, your turnover in a year is expected not to be up to more than 3 million possibly, depending based on the MS micro small medium enterprise policy framework that was policy framework. According to them, they say those at micro, their turnover is not more than 3 3 million. So if you're operating at micro level, there's high expectation you're not going to pay taxations. But I was listening to Tayo in one of the presentation he's making, and some people ask him questions. So he made mention of there's possibility of, because they're still working on it, that dot a small level might pay 0.5% of their total turnover. But they're still working under it. It's not like they finalized on that one. So basically, there is more, let me use the word flexibility based on my understanding. And if you truly have your numbers right, there's not much to worry when you're doing business. So I talk about this individualism because I don't want us to confuse individual taxations and those operating at business level. So, but if you have any questions, like I said, let's discuss it so that we can now understand purely how to go about it. You can raise your hand so that I can allow you to talk. I hope I was able to clarify or to at least give an introductory part of what we are expected to talk about. Okay, so interesting question from Ahmad. Number one, say who benefit most and who bears the most burden? For example, how are low-income individuals and small businesses impacted versus large corporations? Okay, so according to what they are saying, you are supposed to pay tax based on the profit you made, not based on your capital. That's what government is looking into it. You are doing business, so you make some profit. They say, give us portion of it so that we can take care, we can make Nigeria better. We can build your roads, we can give you more security, and we can take care of those people who are jobless. So it's not more or less, no more kind of giving you a burden according to them. It's kind of, if you have something, why don't you give us just a little from it so that we can also take care of the people that are in need and as also the environment that you are living in so that everything become better. So maybe burden is not a right word to use. Now, low income individuals. So based on this question, Mala Ahmad, I think you are more talking about individuals here, not businesses. So maybe let's give an example to define who is a low income individual. Can you give us an example so that we can talk better? Set an example. A low income individual, Mala Ahmad. You can type, you can talk, you can speak. No, like I said, so let's go back to business before you now give us more light on this. Small businesses are not expected to are exempted from paying. If you are turnover, because tax people rated businesses based on their turnover. According to the new reform that is coming next year, if your total turnover from January to December is not up to 50 million, you are exempted from paying taxations. In fact, according to them also, you are exempted from paying withholding tax because the essence of holding your own money, which they call withholding tax, is to offset your taxations. So if you are exempted from doing it, then it's logically it doesn't logically make no sense for them now to charge you with holding tax, and at sometimes now you have money that you cannot use, and it's meant to be used for offsetting tax, and government has exempted it from doing that. So 50 million below, you are good to go, no problem. So, but when it comes to individuals, that is where there is a lot more calculation of businesses that are operating at bigger level, doing maybe 500 million, 1 billion, and off. So at that level, then you need to engage your tax advisor, you need to engage your auditor to say, okay, what are the things that I'm doing? There are exempted products that are zero rated according to government. Do my business fall under zero rated? If the answer is yes, how do we go about it? If the answer is no, then how do we do it? So all these things are simpler if truly at the beginning, you really understand how to run your business, how to keep your record, how to set your pricing, how to calculate government's part, which is 7.5% of VAT, while putting your own pricing, and how to write your invoice to ensure that VAT is exclusive, not inclusive, so for customers to easily see. So all these things are things that if you are doing them in the past, you don't have any concern. But if you are doing everything up head, no record keeping, no nothing, then obviously this is the time that you need to start thinking of how to do it in the better way. Street sellers, food joint sellers, pepper and tomato sellers, all these people are exempted from paying taxations. And on the small business like barber shops or roadside mechanic, as long as their turnover is not up to 50 million a year, they are exempted. If it is more than 50 million a year, then of course they are going to be charged based on their total turnover. No, based on the profit they made. Now remember, people register businesses different level, either as business name or as limited liability company or as partnership. Now, if your business is registered as business name, majority of your issues are related with government, state government, not federal government. Even though things are changing now, because like I said, it doesn't matter whether your business is registered as business name, as long as your turnover is above 500 million, government is considered above 50 million, you are considered to be into tax net. So these people you made mention, Ahmad, they have nothing to worry about as long as they are doing business. But maybe category number one fall under informal sector that are yet to be registered. They have no formal registration with CSE. So in that regard, they need to have documentations, proper documentations, written that they are into business and this is how they do it to make this much clearer. Because advisably, let me use this word. Anybody who is using business or who is running business in Nigeria, please try to do proper CSE registration, because this is only one of the easier and better way you can be categorized as somebody who is doing business, not as an individual. If you are doing maybe like joint business and everything you are buying for your business and everything you do on your personality, you are mixing them up using your own personal account. There is no way when governments are checking account and they are seeing money going in and out, they will come to understand that no, this is a business guy, not just money coming in as labor that you are doing every single day. They are paying you for your wages. So if you have somebody that you know is into business but doesn't have a proper registration, please advise them to have one for the sake of clarity and categorization. As an individual, you can earn salary from your business. That money that they pay into your account as salary is what government will look into and add up at the end, from the beginning and to the end of the year. If the money is not up to 800,000, you are good to go. If it is beyond that, like I mentioned earlier on, as an individual, your business is safe, it's not going to be taxed, but you as an individual, they have to look at your account. You are getting you have side hustles, your business is paying you salary. You have so much money from different areas. If the money is add up and it's a reasonable amount, naturally, based on the new act, you are going to pay taxation. And like I said, there are so many relief that are off you that you are not going to pay. I will repeat them for the sake of clarity. Number one, 800,000 is free of charge. No matter how much money you have 1 billion in your account that entered your account this year, as personality, not business, government say we are dashing you 800,000 free of charge. So they will minus it from the amount you are going to be calculated to pay taxation. Number two, housing scheme, pension, health insurance. They will minus all the amount. Number three, or number four, government also give you rent relief. 20% of what you are paying for rental is also given to you for free, provided you are living in a rented apartment, and provided the rent 20% is not more than 500,000, because the maximum amount government can give you as a relief is 500,000. So let's assume you rented an apartment of 3 million. 20% is 600K. Government say only take off 500,000. So the remaining balance is what is going to be used to compute the taxation based on what I showed you, the tax bracket. Either when you pass bracket 1, they will jump to 2, and also the remaining balance calculated until when they exhaust the amount. So it's a simple thing. Those at nano level, micro, they don't have to worry much. All the noises that people are talking about doesn't concern this category of people. Government has moved on that instead of them now taxing those at lower level who are struggling to survive, they are now moving up to say we are targeting those at top level, middle class, and people at top. They are the one to be taxed. They are the one to understand that if before they are not paying taxations, now is the right time to understand how to do it. What role does CAC play in ensuring businesses are properly classified for fair taxation? Now, when you talk about CAC per se as a body, they give you leverage to make your own self-assessment of, I'm coming to do business. They will ask you, which category do you fall? You are the one to mention in all the documents you are submitting during registration. So as far as CAC is concerned, one, they give you what they call in Hausa wuka da nama to define exactly, do you want to register limited liability company or a business name? Whatever one you choose to register, CAC just, as long as you provided the documents, required documents, and you follow all the due process, they register your certificate and give you. Now, one, before you go into business, like we keep saying, you need to have an auditor, you need to have an accountant. These are the people to guide you on how to run your own business. Now, as a starter, government expect you not to pay, especially like I said, they are looking into your turnover determines how big you are. So even when you register a company as a limited liability company, and from January to December, your turnover is just 5 million, you are just operating around micro level. So you are not expected to pay any taxation. You are good to go. So it's not about whether I registered the company as business name or limited, but the clear expectation is when you are starting small, you are to register your company as business name. As the business is growing, you are now doing volume, you require more capital, you are expanding, you have a bigger structure, you are opening shops, you realize now your turnover is above the minimal, you are above 25 million, you are now doing 30, 40, 50 million. Then you need to upgrade your company to limited liability. Probably at that particular time, you need more people to come on board who are going to be acting as shareholders that are going to bring more money into your business. That is that's the level when now you understand you need to have an auditor who is auditing your own account, who is also giving you all the information you need to know about what are required, what are not required. So everybody is expected to equip themselves with knowledge of what are the things that are required of me before you even start thinking of going into business. Because don't jump into it and later on begin to think, okay, what am I doing wrong? How do I do it? So, but still it's not late. If you are into it, every single day is a learning day. So you can equip yourself, you can position yourself to say, every day, let me learn something new on how to be able to be compliant and run my business efficiently and have a very good reputation for my business, so that the people that do business with me, customers plus stakeholders plus everybody, know that I am doing the right thing and I'm representing my country in a better way. So this is just what I will say on this, Malabibu, that CSC give you the platform, the framework to come onto it, enjoy it, and move forward.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. That is quite a detailed explanation. And I think, yes, Habibu did respond. Thank you. Well understood. There's also a question in the chat box, and it says, are there new digital platform or integrations between CAC and NRS to simplify tax reporting for small business?
Yes, there is, of course, currently there's what they call tax pro max. So when you register your company with CSC, initially you are expected to go to Federal Inland Revenue to get TIN number if your business is limited liability. If your business is operating at is a business name, you have to get your TIN number from state government where you are residing. But now they may simplify things. There's what they call JTB, Joint Tax Board. So Joint Tax Board, when you go to their website, you can be able to generate your TIN number. That's if you have an existing registration. But today, CSC has made life much, much easier. When you want to register a company today, as either it's limited liability or is a business name, it automatically comes with TIN number attached to it. So when you check their certificate at the bottom level, you see the TIN number is stated. So meaning that there is no issue of separating TIN number and TIN number and your CAC. But even with that, having TIN number on your certificate doesn't mean the revenue people know you exist. You also need to go to revenue office. They will give you a form to fill that they are going to profile you and your information and open a platform on their Tax Pro Max. They have a platform they call Tax Pro Max. They will open a profile. This is where you are going to be filing your tax yourself without engaging anybody. So every month before 21st day of a new month, you are expected to go and pay the due. That is if you are within the bracket that you are going to pay taxations. If you are not within the bracket, expectation is when you register, you are going to be filing nil filing, especially either on VAT or on any other product that you need to you are selling your business. So all these things, like I said, is your tax consultant will guide you properly if you have one. If you don't have one, then you need to look for one. So there's already an existing platform. But additionally, according to the committee that are bringing all this up now, what they say is precisely Tayo Oedele. In one of his engagement, he made mention that they are working to bring a harmonized platform, and probably just like what is obtainable in Kenya. The platform will enable you, or it will give you access where you can record all the product you purchased and you use it to also sell to customers. So immediately when you're selling to customers, if you charge customers VAT, something like VAT, automatically, instead of you now holding for on behalf of government and now pay after 30 days, this is going to be done in real time. So the moment you collect as you submit to generate invoice for customer, automatically the amount will hit revenue account without delay.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, awesome. Um, Mr. Adeniji Kayode is asking, what measures has the government put in place to tackle tax evasion by some companies? That is the first question. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, can I be heard? Just a minute, let our facilitator join. It's like the network has also kicked him out. The network is somehow not stable today. I've been battling up and down, trying to see how I can connect for over 30 minutes now. But thank God it's coming, is stable. I came online and our facilitator is off due to the network as well too. Yes, let's be patient and he will join us very soon and to also answer all the questions. Thank you very much for your patience. Um, and yes, to give an insight to that before he joins. I think a lot of measures are coming on board now because um, the 2025 tax reform policy has really highlighted how to ease the payment of tax. And that is why every individuals now must have a TIN number. By January 2026, the reform is saying that even as an individual, you need a TIN number to open your personal account. And the tax on personal account is higher than that of even company account. So a lot
Okay,
of
apologies.
measures. Yes, yes.
I
Okay.
was knocked
Thank
out.
you. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, we noticed that, and thank you for joining. The network is not stable today, and I thank God you're able to join as soon as possible. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, but sorry, let me quickly correct this thing that you just mentioned. It's not like everybody is expected to have TIN number. No,
Okay.
people that are within the means to pay tax are expected to have TIN. If your earning is not up to 800,000, please go and sleep. You don't need to have any TIN number. It's not expected. You don't have to have tax identification number. So I think this is part of the confusion that everybody in Nigeria must have tax identification number. The answer is no. But if you are earning amount of money that is beyond that, you need to have to pay. If you don't, government will find you because they will see money moving into your account, hitting your account beyond normal. Especially those who are doing businesses, please separate yourself and your business. If you are registered with CSC, go and open account for your company. Anything that has to do with issue that has to do with company engagement, use the company account to do it. Anything that has to do with your personality, use your personal account to take care of it. Do not mix the two. Nobody will understand unless you give clarity. And according to the government, at the beginning of the night, it's not like they are going to pounce on you and just take your money. No, they will allow you to do self-declaration or what they call self-assessment, because they are the one to say this amount of money is for this amount of money is for this. If somebody is giving you loan or somebody is giving you money to keep on for him in your account, please clearly let that person state it in the narration. If possible, let him write letter and give you copy. Take that letter, keep it in a very very safe place, so that in a situation where government is going to tax you on that amount of money, you say no, this money is not mine, it's for this person, and these are the agreement that we had before you send the money to me on this particular day. So do not add it into the amount of money I'm going to pay taxation. Life is simple and is clearer, but you need to assess government to ensure that you know how to keep your proper record, bit by bit and record by record. If you bought something from a mall or anywhere and they give you that receipt from POS, normally those receipts faded. The moment when they give you the receipt, put it on your table, snap it on a picture, keep it on your phone. There might be a day that receipt is going to save you. So the correction is not everybody is going to have tax identification number. it is going to be purely people who are within the cycle, and most of them are middle class, people that are earning more money, then government will expect them to give them some portion of that money so that they can take care of so many needs that are disturbing the country. Okay,
Awesome.
so I saw another one from Adeniji. So can you read it out?
Yes, yes. Thank you
Surely.
for that insight and clarification. Yeah, Adeni is asking two questions back to back. He says, what measures has the government put in place to tackle tax evasion by some companies?
Okay, so well, I'm not a government official, but I will respond based on what I heard the people in charge said about this. Number one, they say, don't even try to play the game. You know, this is an era of technology. And if you have 1 million bank accounts, governments are going to be seeing them. In fact, somebody asked a question around Agberos who are collecting money and they may not have bank account, this and that. And they responded that, look, as long as you have a phone number, even if when you don't have an account, you don't have a smartphone, but you have a phone number that you are getting recharge card. If government realize the amount you have money that is taxable, they are going to start charging your recharge card. If you load 500 naira, government might take 300 naira and leave you with 200 naira. They will keep on deducting until when you pay off all your tax. They say if you change your phone number, as long as you use your name to register that new line, they will follow you. They will keep on following until when you are done. So I think what I would advise us is do not underestimate the power of technology. In those areas when they do paper and barrel, it's possible to evade tax. But now we are talking about everybody is using technology. And they also give a reference where they say maybe you say you don't have, assuming that you declare 2 million as your total income from January to December. And this is what you declare to revenue service. But they now check and realize you have used your ATM card to buy things for yourself worth about 4 million from January to December. So government will now call you and ask you that, we have been following your record and see that you have been going to malls, POS, different POS, and buying one thing or the other worth 4 million, which is not declared. Can you explain what happened to those 4 million? So, what they're trying to tell you here is whatever you do, as long as you use technology, either ATM card, either transfer, either USSD code, either whatever means you use, government has a system today that they are going to be tracking. So the only thing that is going to save you is proper record keeping and do things at the right time and pay off what you need to pay. The payment can be on monthly basis, or you can allow it accrue it until when the year runs out. Take all the record from January to December, do your analysis, do your accounting, understand what is meant for government, take it and pay them and hold their evidence. So if government do their own, they will do their background check. If there is need for auditing, they will call you for assessment so that you can reconcile to see which gray area need to be corrected. I hope I answered this question.
Yes, yeah. Okay, thank you very much. That's with the use of technology. I think it will be difficult to evade tax this time around. The second question says, does the tax reform applies to businesses, companies owned by foreigners?
The answer is yes.
Awesome.
So somebody asked a question that I work in I work in another country, and of course I have Nigerian bank account. So how will Nigeria know that the country I'm working for, or also taxed me? So if Nigeria now tax me, it's like I pay double taxation. How will the country? How will you know that this happened? So they responded that if you spend maybe like 5 months in Nigeria and 7 months in that country, Nigerian government is not going to tax you. But if you spend 6 months, 7 months in Nigeria, 5 months in that country, Nigerian government is going to do calculation and tax you based on the bracket you fall under. And additionally, they say if you maybe work in another country, but you have an apartment that you rented out in Nigeria, that apartment that you rented out in Nigeria is taxable. So they will charge you based on that apartment, not based on the entire income you have in your account. So people who are foreigners running business in Nigeria, of course, they are going to pay taxations. If you check the reform, you will see it, you find out whatever cycle they fall under, of course, it is going to be calculated based on that and they will pay. Just like those who are in Nigeria today are also paying. So the system, according to them, is instead of you now paying so many taxes, now things have been consolidated. Let me give another example. For those who have limited company doing above 100 million turnover, what they are expected to pay in the current system, what we are paying, we pay CIT, which is 30%. You pay educational tax, educational tax, 2.5%. You pay police trust fund. You also pay, what do they call it? So there are
PIT.
no. PIT is for individuals, not for businesses.
Oh.
That's what they say. Personal is for individuals.
Mhm.
So you pay CIT, that's company income tax. You pay educational tax. You pay police trust fund, and I forgot the other one. That's the current system now. But with the new reform, they say no. Um, Instead of paying all these remaining ones, you are going to pay CIT, which is 30%, but there is possibility they might come down and review it to 25%. But that one is discretion of the president. So instead of paying all police transport, educational tax, and other things, they remove all those things and now bring something they call development levy and put it in a flat rate of 4%. So you're going to pay 30% CIT and 4% development levy. So this what they some let me call it rearrangement they did on people who are paying who are operating at top level. But those at lower level, maximum is federal government has nothing to do with you if you're operating business name and your turnover is not up to 50 million. Go and relax. The only maybe things you need to do is start government and ensure that the staff you have are paying their deducting their pay and are remitting to government in the state where you are living.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll just attempt to two questions before we call it a day. The first question here is from Miriam Garba, and it says, "What are the tax obligations for CAC registered business name compared to limited liability company under the new policy?"
What are the
Tax obligation for CAC
okay?
registered for business name compared to limited liability companies under the new policy.
Okay, so those registered under business name. If you register a company under business name, the only thing that only taxation that you need to be paying is withholding tax. That is if you have customers, corporate customers that you served. Maybe you have a corporate customer. Okay, yeah. You have a corporate customer. Maybe let me do it this way. The apartment you rented is owned by a company registered as limited company. So according to government rule is when you are paying the rental, you are to remove 10% as withholding tax and remit it to government. So now this 10% is the one you remit to federal government as withholding tax because the persons that you are residing in his property is gave you the rental using a company as limited liability. Now, number two is withholding tax. Sorry, VAT, value added service. So if you now the VAT you collect from your customers, you are expected to remit it to federal government. These are the only tax obligations you are expected to pay if your company is a business name. That's the federal. That's the federal. Or let's the new one coming is Nigerian Revenue Service. Now the next one is pay, which is not yours, is for your staff. So government now expect you as its ambassador to remove pay from your staff salary, deduct it, and now remit it on its behalf. And that one you are paying to the state government of your residence. If your office is operating in Kaduna, you are remitting to Kaduna Revenue Office. If your office is residing in Kano, you are paying to Kano Revenue Office. So pay is not like your money. It's not your money. It's the money you remove from that 7.5%. You remove from what? From the salary of your staff, which is, of course, is and remitted as usual. So, but like we said, as the new government is coming now, so there are so many brackets that you need to do the calculations. Just like now that of course we're also operating on similar bracket, but a little bit more complicated than the new one coming. So those are small business doesn't have more complicated calculation to do than those are operating at limited liability level. I have answered the question correct. Well, you understand what I say.
Yes, thank you very much. Um, I think you've touched most on the key responsibilities um, of business name compared to that of limited liability. Please, let's take the last one before, because our time is also up. Uh, the last question is coming from, it says, what is the proper way to handle teen complications for individuals with multiple business? Maybe someone has just one team and has a multiple business. So how do you reconcile that?
Okay, so like I made mention earlier, if assuming you have 5 companies plus you, those 5 companies are expected to have their unique thing because do not confuse yourself and your companies. Yourself, you have different tax obligations. Each of your company, depending on the level of the company, has also its own tax obligations. So each one is unique. Now, government to make much life even much easier, according to what they say is in the near future, they might even use your name as your tax ID. They might use your company number, RC number, or BN number as your tax ID. So there are many things that they can use because all companies have unique RC number or BN number. So it makes sense to use it as ID to pay taxations. So they are still working to at the end of the day, they will agree on which one and which they will allow all the communication will be cascaded that which one should be used. The expectation from you is always keep updating yourself with the current information because there might be little changes as time goes on. If you don't follow up, if you don't check, if you don't follow news, if you don't follow their handles and website, it will be difficult for you to know maybe there are some adjustment on the information you know. So we have to keep updating ourselves day in, day out so that we get the right information and right data. So never confuse yourself with your businesses. If they are 1 million, each one is unique and government is going to look at them as such and is going to tax them if they are taxable based on that. If they don't enter the bracket, what they're doing as turnover is less, then they're good to go. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let me put down the name of a website that you can also check. What they call it fiscalreform.ng. I think if you follow this site, you'll be able to understand or you can ask more questions and at the same time you can keep following them to get more updated information on what is going on and how you can position yourself to learn and to plan better on all these issues that has to do with taxations so that we can run our businesses better. I put it on the chat room. You can check and find out, and you can go in there to find more and learn more about.
Please, can you drop that in the chat box? I don't think it has reflected. Uh-oh. Apologies. The network has done it again. Oh, yes, yes. That's great. Our facilitator is back. So please, can you drop that in the chat box again? It hasn't
Oh, okay.
reflected.
Okay. Check it out again now.
Yes, yes. So there we have it in the chat box, www.fiscalreforms.ng. Please do well to explore that site and gain more insight on the topics at hand today. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your time and wealth of knowledge. And I want to say that, please, tax is not something that you should be scared of. In fact, there's a threshold of transaction you do before it that is taxable. So please be law abiding and also do well to develop your business and make your business compliant. It's not just the way he has rightly said, you must do some volume and you have to be between that threshold before you can be able to pay tax. So thank you very much. And I want to believe that this session was very insightful and we have gained a lot and we have learned a lot and let the conversation continues. Please, if you have any question, any query, even after the session, do well to pop it, send it to us on our social handles. You can send us a direct WhatsApp chat. And if you are also new here and you would like to join our family, please drop your WhatsApp number so that we can add you for prompt information and to be informed on any of our upcoming session. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and let's be law abiding and be a good citizen of Nigeria. Thank you, and we'll say good night from here and have a lovely weekend ahead. Thank you all, and see you on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day. All right, good night, everyone. Thank you for your time, and may we keep learning. And please don't stop learning. Learn. Challenge yourself every single day to learn something new. We need to get it right, and we need to understand so that we might not pay too much money instead of paying less. And a lot of people intimidate a lot of Nigerians and businesses because they understand they don't know anything about this. And when you keep on, and the moment when you keep on hating it or being scared, it means you are denying yourself the right to learn and to understand. Open your mind, ask many questions as possible, see how you can be able to position your business and do the right thing. Always get your papers and you keep on growing as business. So thank you for your time, and may we keep on growing and doing the right thing as expected. Good night.